May 25th, 2017. Does this date ring a bell for anyone? Well, that's when this happened. Chris Kunitz scoring the double overtime winner in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2017, putting an end to an amazing series. Also to the Stanley Cup hopes of the Ottawa Senators, who were amidst an extremely impressive playoff run, spearheaded by their captain Erik Karlsson, who basically played the entire playoffs on one foot. But that didn't stop him from logging a ton of minutes every night and registering 2 goals and 16 assists for 18 points in 19 playoff games. Unfortunately, we all know what happened to the Ottawa Senators franchise after the 2017 playoffs. It's been pretty rough for them since then, but now it is looking like things are finally headed in the right direction and the franchise is getting back on track. This could be a massive offseason for them, especially the 2020 NHL draft. And in today's video, I kinda wanted to go through the timeline from the end of the 2017 playoffs up until now, talk about all the big events that happened and how the franchise has gotten back on track and why I think the future looks very bright for this team. The Senators and their fans had high hopes for the team heading into the 2017-18 season, and rightfully so, considering they were within just 1 goal of the 2017 Stanley Cup Finals. After a pretty shaky 6-3-5 start to the 17-18 season, the Senators decided to shake things up, and that brings us to our first big event of the timeline. November 5th of 2017, the Ottawa Senators acquire forward Matt Duchene from the Colorado Avalanche in a 3-team deal involving the Nashville Predators. In total, the Ottawa Senators gave up Kyle Turris, who went to Nashville in the trade, goaltender Andrew Hammond, aka the Hamburglar, he went to Colorado, along with Ottawa's 2017 first-round pick Shane Bowers, along with a third-round pick in the 2019 NHL draft, and most importantly, that conditional 2018 first-round pick. The conditions on that pick were if it was in the top 10, spoiler alert it was, then Ottawa could give Colorado their 2019 first-round pick instead, which is exactly what happened. Now, even at the time the trade was made, a lot of people thought that was a pretty big package to give up to bring in Matt Duchene, but Ottawa was a team at the time that was supposed to be contending, and he was seen as a player who could potentially come in and put them over the edge. When asked about his initial thoughts on the trade, Matt Duchene said he's extremely grateful for his time in Colorado, but he's excited, and went on to say that Ottawa has a team that can win a Stanley Cup. Obviously, we all know how this turned out. Ottawa went on to have a disaster of a season, and for whatever reason, the team just never really clicked after the Matt Duchene trade and could never get it going. Mark Stone missed a lot of time due to injury that season. Erik Karlsson missed a bit of time as well, which obviously is a big blow to the team. Overall, just an awful season, and they were kind of the laughingstock of the NHL, considering they went from being 1 goal away from the Stanley Cup Final to being in the basement of the league, having traded away one of their first-round picks. Following the abysmal season, as we know, the Ottawa Senators went on to select Brady Tkachuk 4th overall, thus giving Colorado their 2019 first-round pick, which was most definitely extremely valuable. Nobody really expected Ottawa to be very good in the 2018-19 season, especially after what happened on September 13th of 2018, when the Ottawa Senators traded franchise defenseman Erik Karlsson to the San Jose Sharks. It still seems so crazy to me that the Senators, led by Erik Karlsson, were 1 goal away from the Stanley Cup Final, and then not even a year and a half later were headed into a full rebuild and traded away the face of their franchise. The return the Senators got was highlighted by prospect Josh Norris, center Chris Tierney, a plethora of draft picks, and a couple of other players, which is a pretty good haul, but at the time it didn't seem like much considering Ottawa was trading away one of the very best defensemen in the NHL. Ironically enough, looking back at this trade now, it's kind of what has Ottawa set up for the future. Heading into the 2018-19 season, everybody most likely expected Ottawa to be bad and had them pegged to finish at the bottom of the league, especially after having traded Karlsson, and that's exactly what happened. And as we know, due to the Matt Duchene trade, they did not even have their own first-round pick pick that belonged to the Colorado Avalanche, so it kind of seemed like the Ottawa Senators really just suffered through last season for no reason. Luckily, there were some bright spots, like Thomas Chabot emerging as a star on the blue line for Ottawa, and Brady Tkachuk coming in right away and having an immediate impact, having a strong rookie year. And the final big event I want to talk about in the video happened on trade deadline day of the 18-19 season. February 25th, the Vegas Golden Knights acquired Mark Stone from the Ottawa Senators. Of course, they also traded away Matt Duchene and Ryan Dzingel and Mike Hoffman in the summer prior, but I wanted to more so focus on the departures of Erik Karlsson and Mark Stone because they were really the two stars for this team. The big piece coming back to Ottawa was Erik Brannstrom, former first-round pick of the Vegas Golden Knights. In the trade, they also got Oscar Lindberg and a 2020 second-round pick, but like I said, Brannstrom was really the centerpiece of that package. And while he is yet to really find himself at the NHL level in Ottawa, they definitely still look to him as a big part of the future because he has a ton of potential. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the 18-19 season. I mean, Colorado drafted Bowen Byram 4th overall, the pick they got from Ottawa. For Sens fans, that probably stung a little bit, but the 18-19 season as a whole was pretty much just a complete write-off. That kind of brings us up to date, the 2019-20 season. Heading into it, nobody expected Ottawa to do a thing. No Karlsson, no Stone, no Hoffman, no Duchene, no Dzingel, none of those guys. But Ottawa actually exceeded a lot of expectations this year. I know they exceeded mine. I thought they were going to be dead last in the league, but I think DJ Smith did a really good job of getting the players to buy in, and on most nights this team was competitive and actually pretty fun to watch. And they didn't finish dead last, but they still finished low enough to have some pretty good odds in the draft lottery. And of course, the cherry on top is the fact that they have San Jose's first round pick, and the Sharks had an abysmal year. It's kind of funny that San Jose is in a position this year that the Ottawa Senators found themselves in last year. It's pretty weird how it all worked out. Like I mentioned at the start, the 2020 draft is going to be massive for the Ottawa Senators. Their odds are looking pretty good, and we know they're going to have 2 high picks. It's just a matter of how high the picks are actually going to be. Could you imagine if they ended up with the 1st and the 2nd overall pick and got Byfield and Lafreniere? Even if they get like the 2nd and the 3rd, the 3rd or the 4th, the 1st and the 4th, they're going to get 2 very good prospects that are most definitely going to speed up this rebuilding process. And you add those 2 guys into a young core that already consists of Thomas Chabot, Brady Tkachuk, Drake Batherson, Josh Norris, Erik Brannstrom. That is the makings of a very, very bright future. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this video because, you know, over a year ago, things just looked so doom and gloom for this franchise. Last year, them being bad and not having their own first round pick. But this year, they're not very good, and they got their own pick and the pick of another not so very good team. So it kind of came full circle for them. And I'm not saying the Ottawa Senators, after getting 2 top prospects in the 2020 draft, are going to be immediate playoff contenders for the 2020-21 season. I'm not saying that at all. What I am trying to emphasize in this video is the fact that they are now on the right direction. It is looking like they have a bright future, and the suffering is most likely over. I don't expect them to be an extremely good team next year, but man, do I ever think they're going to be very fun to watch, a very young, fast, and skilled team, and who knows, maybe they could surprise some people depending on how the 2020 NHL draft works out. They're definitely not the joke of the NHL anymore, that's the Red Wings, and Sens fans, you shouldn't be seeing too many more memes making fun of your team because everything should start to get a little bit better from here on out. It really just has been an insane last couple of years for this franchise. So many things have happened in such a little amount of time. 1 goal away from the cup final, trading away your captain and franchise defenseman Erik Karlsson, obviously trading away a lot of other stars too, and Matt Duchene, Mike Hoffman, Mark Stone, the list goes on, even players that they traded away at this year's deadline like Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Losing that many key players definitely had to be pretty tough on the fans, but things are definitely going to get better, and if you are a fan of the Ottawa Senators, make sure to let me know down in the comment section below your feelings on the current state of the team. What are you most excited for? What are you not looking forward to as much? I know I'm probably going to hear a lot about the draft, but it's hard not to when you have a draft filled with so many good prospects and a team like Ottawa potentially getting 2 of them. That is going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you want to see more videos like this that are centered around one team in particular. I've had a lot of fun making this one and a lot of fun making the Rangers one the other day, and if you guys continue to show a lot of support, I'm definitely going to continue to do them. With that said, if you did enjoy today's video, please make sure to go down there and drop a like on it. That's the best way to show your support, and we're so close to 35,000 subscribers. If you guys are new and you want to see more hockey content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.